Welcome back to the show, everyone. Today's story, Few. It's one of those family tales that sounds like it should be fiction, but unfortunately, it's very, very real. This is the story of the day my grandmother moved in with my mom, and the day my uncle decided to rob his own mother. So, picture this. About 7 years ago, my grandmother was moving in with my mom. She was downsizing, and like any organized grandma, she had boxes labeled with people's names, grandkids, kids, cousins, you name it. I showed up to help pack and load the U-Haul. We'd been at it for hours. Most of the big stuff was already in the truck, and the labeled boxes were stacked neatly inside the house, waiting for everyone they were meant for. Everything was going smoothly. Shockingly smoothly, actually. And then, we all left to grab lunch. While we were gone, my uncle, let's call him Shitty Uncle, because honestly, he earned the title, and his wife showed up. And they didn't just take a few things. No, they took all the boxes meant for everyone else. Then they broke into the U-Haul and helped themselves to some of my grandma's favorite furniture and sentimental items, including memories of my late grandfather. Her wedding album. Stuff you can't replace. At this point, we had no idea it was him. We came back, saw the damage, saw the missing boxes, and I did what any reasonable person would do. I called the police. My grandma was devastated. She called all 4 of her kids to tell them she'd been robbed. And right after I filed the police report, she called Shitty Uncle. And he just admitted it. Casually. Like he'd borrowed a lawnmower. He told her, yeah, it was me, and no, I'm not giving the stuff back. My grandma was beside herself, but not for the reason you'd expect. She wasn't angry at him. She was angry at me, because now he was going to get in trouble again. Turns out, he was already a felon. Shocking, I know. My grandma demanded I call the police back and say it was all a misunderstanding. But absolutely not. He broke a window to get into her already sold house. He damaged the U-Haul, which I paid for. And she didn't have the money to cover the damage. So no, I wasn't about to lie to the police to protect a grown man who robbed his own mother. He was arrested. Released the same day. Totally fine. But the way he acted afterward, you'd think he'd been sentenced to 5 years in federal prison. This kicked off a massive family fight. One uncle and an aunt were firmly on my side, thank God someone had sense. But my mom? My grandma? They were on team, you're being dramatic. Apparently, the real crime wasn't the theft. It was me, holding him accountable. And here's the thing, this wasn't new behavior. He'd stolen from family before. Every time, my grandparents covered for him. The one time he actually faced consequences was when he robbed a stranger, tied the guy up at gunpoint with 3 other men, and the victim refused to take hush money. That's why he went to prison. I wasn't born yet, so I never knew. But even if I had known, I still would have spoken up. Because honestly, what kind of person steals from their elderly mother? Families can be complicated. Loyalty can be twisted. And sometimes the person causing the most chaos is the one everyone keeps protecting. But that day, I learned something important. Doing the right thing doesn't always make you popular, but it still matters. Thanks for listening. If you've got a wild family story of your own, send it in. Trust me, I've heard it all.